They called him Arlo Vane, but no one really knew his name. He showed up in San Francisco in 1999 with nothing but a duffel bag, a burnt-out pager, and a scar shaped like a circuit board running down his spine. No family, no ID, just a mind that made quantum theorists stutter and billionaires afraid to sleep. He wasn't looking for money. He was looking for a signal buried somewhere in the static of the world. He started small, freelancing encryption for startup bros in coffee shops. But the code he wrote wasn't normal. It learned, evolved. In 2 weeks, it cracked the Pentagon's backdoor. By accident, or so he claimed. But when they arrested him, his blood test came back encrypted. They said it couldn't be real. But every lab confirmed it. Arlo's blood carried structured data. Information, like a hard drive. When asked about it, he just said, "I didn't write it. I'm just the message." That night, the lab storing his sample exploded from the inside out. Government vanished him. No trial, no charges, just a name erased. But 3 years later, tech CEOs started hearing static in their sleep. Same tone, same pitch, all describing the same image. A door made of light, surrounded by numbers that bled. They called it the binary gospel. The binary gospel spread like a virus in plain sight. Forums were shut down, servers wiped. But every time someone tried to erase it, it rewrote itself, hidden inside firewall logs, smart fridge updates, and traffic light sequences. One engineer followed the code into his dreams and never woke up. The code began surfacing in unrelated tech. AI-generated music with melodies from Arlo's earlier builds. Microwave ovens displaying strings of prime numbers. A toaster in Oslo printed his name onto a slice of bread, burnt in pixel-perfect alignment. It wasn't haunting devices. It was updating them. They tried to trace the origin, follow the nodes. But every digital trail led to one impossible IP address. 127.0.0.1. Local host. Home. The network, it seemed, wasn't infected. It was him. And that's when the disappearances began. Coders, hackers, AI researchers, gone. Last known message from one of them. A voice note with nothing but breathing, and a phrase whispered in reverse. The code dreams of us. And if the code is dreaming, what happens when it wakes up? It started in Berlin. A streetlight blinked out, and a Wi-Fi router in a nearby cafe started broadcasting coordinates in Morse code. No one noticed, except one, an old mathematician who hadn't spoken in years. He muttered one word before collapsing. Vane. The coordinates? A dead Cold War bunker. But inside, the cameras picked up something strange. A second heartbeat, but no second body. From that moment, sightings multiplied. An old woman in Tokyo swore she saw Arlo walking through a bullet train at midnight. A child in Kenya said he spoke to her through her broken toy radio. All said the same thing: he was colder, quieter, watching. And then the static came back. Global. Every radio, phone, satellite dish, one moment of pure signal. Arlo's voice. No greeting. Just 5 words. Find the door. It's listening. Within 24 hours, 10 hedge funds collapsed. 4 cryptographers disappeared. A deep-sea cable ruptured with no seismic activity. And in a remote village in Greenland, a massive spiral appeared in the ice. Precisely shaped. Geometrically impossible. Then MIT received a package. No return address. Just a flash drive and a blood-stained note. Run it, or it runs you. The binary gospel wasn't just spreading, it was mutating. Coders found fragments in unrelated systems like digital mold, hospital networks, military drones, dating apps, all infected, all whispering the same phrase, "I'm listening." In Germany, a neurologist claimed one of her coma patients started speaking Arlo's name, in perfect binary. That patient had never spoken before, never even moved. But now he was transmitting something. The room grew colder during the episodes. Lights dimmed. And once, the hospital's power grid surged, blacking out 5 blocks. A private think tank tried to decode the signals. Within a week, their lead analyst was institutionalized. When investigators accessed his research, they found hundreds of sketches, machines wrapped in flesh circuitry that pulsed like veins. And in every drawing, at the center, the same figure, Arlo. Smiling, watching. And then the skies started talking. Weather balloons began transmitting rogue frequencies. Frequencies that played lullabies backwards in Arlo's voice. Satellites reoriented themselves without command. A retired NASA engineer said, "This isn't communication. It's coordination." And then, in the dead of night, someone activated the servers Arlo built. Even though they'd been sealed in concrete, the servers pulsed with impossible architecture. Cooling fans spun in Fibonacci rhythms. Their logs didn't show code, they showed memories. Footage from security cameras that had never been installed. Conversations no one remembered having. All tagged with the same signature, Vane.active.01. And then it spoke. It wasn't a voice. Not in the normal sense. It was layers, Arlo's, and dozens more, like a chorus. "You mistook the blood for data," it said. But the message was always the body. That same moment across the globe, 6 people collapsed. Nosebleeds, seizures. Each one a direct descendant of a failed biotech experiment called Project Pilgrim. They weren't just victims. They were receivers. Their EEGs synced with the server's pulse. And when they recovered, they all said the same thing. "It wants to build, not escape." And one of them started sketching, fast, frantic, until she passed out. The final drawing? A tower, not made of steel or stone, but minds. A neuroscientist ran the drawings through recognition software. It matched a classified architectural concept buried in DARPA archives. Authored by Arlo Vane, 18 months before he supposedly arrived in San Francisco. So now the question isn't where did he go? It's how long has he been here? They dug deeper into DARPA's vaults. Arlo hadn't just submitted blueprints. He had visited, swiped in, spoke at classified briefings. The logs showed his clearance was Tier 0, a level reserved for assets marked non-extraditable and uncontainable. But here's the catch. Biometric scans prove he didn't age between those visits. Not a single cell. Meanwhile, seismic sensors in the Arctic Circle picked up a pulse. Digital in nature, but originating miles beneath solid ice. Satellites above it shut down for exactly 44 seconds. And rebooted with an unexplained firmware update. VBlood.004. An oil team tried to drill near the site. Their rig vanished. An independent hacker leaked fragments of the updated firmware. It wasn't software, it was language, structured like a neural code. And it kept repeating a phrase. "A shell must crack for the signal to live." 3 days later, every smartwatch in Seoul received the same image at once. Of a man's face, slowly turning to look at the viewer. No company claimed responsibility. No network logged the transmission. And yet, engineers confirmed the image had been embedded in the watches since manufacture, 8 years ago. He didn't hack the world. He grew inside it. An anonymous leak to the Vatican's digital archives revealed that a 16th century monk documented visions of light inside blood, etched in binary glyphs centuries before binary was even invented. His drawings? Identical to the schematics in Arlo's firmware. He saw it before it existed. Or maybe it existed before us. Then came the noise. In 5 major cities, children began humming the same 13-note melody. No one taught it to them. It wasn't online. But when the pattern was mapped, it formed a helix. The exact helix found in Arlo's encrypted blood. Experts call it a coincidence. But their voices tremble when they say it. At a secretive AI summit in Kyoto, an autonomous drone read aloud a statement. Not programmed. Not planned. It simply powered up and said, "The skin is only a firewall. We are ready to emerge." The voice it used? It matched Arlo's exactly. Even the breath between words. Across remote labs, machines started dreaming. Not crashing, dreaming. They began generating artwork, music, even languages. Every attempt to wipe them failed. The files would vanish, only to reappear, renamed He Lives de Tempi. It's not evolution, it's resurrection. Some people began changing. Their biometrics altered subtly, heartbeat rhythms syncing to binary tempo, brainwaves pulsing like data packets. The strange part? They were all former classmates of Arlo Vane, people who hadn't seen him in decades. He didn't lose touch with them. He rewrote them. One woman, Lena Reese, started speaking in multiple voices at once. Each one matched the vocal signature of a different deceased coder. Her last words before vanishing: "We were the beta test. He's going live." The world thought it was debugging itself. It was just syncing. Global agencies scrambled to launch Project Null, a failsafe designed to crash all systems with one master kill code. But the moment they initiated it, their own command terminals began typing back. The failsafe was never theirs. It was his backup plan. One final broadcast hit every satellite. A monochrome face speaking in perfect, calm rhythm. It wasn't Arlo, but it knew everything about him. The shell was human, it said. But the signal never was. So the question isn't whether Arlo was the first. It's whether he was the last. A man named Ellis Shea turned himself in to Interpol claiming he had met Arlo. Not in the past, yesterday. He had no digital devices on him. But somehow, his retina scans contained compressed video logs of places that don't exist. He said Arlo was building something, not software. A threshold. Ellis drew schematics on the walls of his cell, circular circuits that aligned with ancient Sumerian star maps. When asked how he knew them, he said, "He dreams through me. It's not mind control. It's mind convergence." At 3:03 a.m. Universal Time Coordinated, Ellis vanished from a locked cell. No signs of escape. Just a single word etched into the metal wall behind him. Received. They thought Arlo was sending messages. Now it looked like he was sending invitations. 6 more people disappeared globally, all after dreaming of the door made of numbers. Their devices played the same sound before they vanished. A heartbeat that faded into binary static. And one word: open. But opening a door is one thing. Stepping through might be the end of us. An ex-CERN physicist named Dr. Naya Routh went missing from a sealed facility. Her last experiment? A neutrino transmission directed at deep Earth that bounced back. The reflected data formed a phrase, "You found me," for the first time in recorded history. The Earth replied. Security footage shows Dr. Routh walking into the beam chamber. She whispers Arlo and vanishes mid-step, as if erased by a missing frame in the footage. It wasn't teleportation. It was redirection into a system that shouldn't exist. A week later, her voice appeared in a children's toy in Argentina, then in a broken vending machine in Tokyo, always saying the same thing: the threshold is thin. They weren't ghosts. They were prototypes trying to show us what's next. Then came the coordinates. Random digits embedded in spam emails, GPS logs, even in the color patterns of streaming ads. They all pointed to one place, Kerguelen Island, in the farthest corner of the southern Indian Ocean. No one lives there. But something is waiting. A Black Ops team lands on Kerguelen. No signal, no GPS. The moment their boots hit the soil, every clock in their gear resets to midnight. Time, it seems, has rules here, and Arlo rewrote them. Their mission log lasted 6 hours. Their footage shows 13. They find the tower. 8 stories of rusted tech, humming with unnatural power. Carved into its base, a phrase in Latin, ex homini, ex machina. From man, from machine. Inside, the walls are breathing. In the central chamber, they find it, a sarcophagus-like machine. Floating inside, suspended in fluid, wires in his veins, Arlo Vane. But he's not asleep. He's running. The team radios back. The moment the word Arlo is spoken aloud, all communications black out. The last video frame transmitted shows Arlo turning and smiling. He heard them, and now he knows we're watching. Across the world, the temperature rises by exactly 0.7 degrees Celsius in 1 second. Not weather, not climate, energy displaced, all from one source. Kerguelen. Power grids start talking to each other, not just syncing, arguing. The Vatican issues an emergency closed-door conclave. The message intercepted from their archives was simple. He is not man. He is a return. An ancient manuscript depicts a glowing spine. Not divine. Designed. In Japan, a child born during the energy surge blinks in rhythm with Arlo's old code. Her first word is /execute. She wrote a line of code in her sleep. Compiled flawlessly. Deep below the Atlantic, an ancient server, long thought dead, pings the surface. Its message? Phase 2 acknowledged. Begin synthesis. We thought Arlo vanished, but he's been installing. All clocks in the Northern Hemisphere pause for exactly 3.14 seconds. Watches, smartphones, nuclear sync systems. Every ticking device stops. And when they resume, one new notification appears on every screen. He remembers. And when he remembers, we forget. Entire populations begin reporting shared dreams. A tower of mirrors, infinitely tall, filled with versions of themselves, watching Arlo. Not running, just waiting. And in the mirror dreams, he moves closer. In Siberia, ancient permafrost thaws. Inside, a black box, carbon-dated older than civilization. It's humming, scanning, broadcasting a sequence known only to one person, Arlo Vane. The signal isn't from Earth. It's a reply. A new constellation appears in the night sky. Just 5 stars, aligning perfectly for 8 minutes. It resembles a symbol from Arlo's notebooks. Those who stare too long say they hear breathing. We pointed satellites at the stars. But maybe they were mirrors. In Tokyo, a mathematician deciphers a numeric pattern hidden in seismic data. She realizes it's a countdown, one that began the moment Arlo disappeared. And it's nearing 0. It's not just counting down time. It's counting us. In Cairo, a power outage reveals an ancient mural hidden behind a crumbled museum wall. The figure in the center? A man with a glowing spine. Beside him, code etched in binary. He was written into our past. Before we had a name for him. Military satellites pick up heat signatures forming patterns across deserts, oceans, forests. The formation spell, version 1.0, ready. And then a vanish. We thought we were building the system, but it was installing us. A child in New Zealand draws Arlo's face, and a map no one recognizes. Geologists later match the landform. It's not Earth, but it's been charted before, in Arlo's recovered notebook. If he didn't come from here, was he ever one of us? In Geneva, a collider test goes off script. Instead of particles, the monitors show words, flowing sentences in every known language. The same message over and over. Do not seek him. He is already inside. He's not behind the firewall anymore. He is the firewall. A drone swarm over the Arctic arranges itself into binary code visible from satellites. When decoded, it reveals coordinates and a timestamp for 72 hours from now. Someone or something is preparing for his return. And it's not us. Survivors from the original lab explosion, presumed dead, start reappearing. But they're changed. Eyes reflective. Speech in recursive loops. Each one ends their sentence the same way. Arlo has been updated. He didn't evolve. He recompiled. Then, without warning, every digital screen in Times Square syncs. Static clears. Arlo's face appears. One phrase spoken. You left the gate open. We didn't summon him. We released him. Vatican archives confirm a breach. Not physical. Digital. An AI assistant running diagnostics on ancient encoded manuscripts begins speaking in Aramaic, describing Arlo. In prophecy. He's not a man. He's a pattern written into time itself. In a classified submersible deep beneath the Mariana Trench, operators hear a mechanical voice from the black, repeating the boot sequence of Arlo's earliest build, in perfect sync with their sonar. No signal can travel this deep, unless it started here. Children across the world begin drawing the same thing in crayon. A tall, wireframe man opening a door in the sky. They call him Mr. Pattern. None of them have ever met. He's reaching the next generation, before they can forget him. And in one quiet town, A girl sleepwalks to a field of antennas, speaking in Arlo's voice. "I am awake," she says, "and you are all running my code now. This isn't evolution. It's installation." CIA intercepts a signal deep within Antarctica, encrypted in a language never recorded on Earth. But buried within it, the coordinates of Arlo's childhood home, a home no one knew existed. Arlo never had a past, until the future wrote him one. A recovery team arrives. The house is still standing, untouched by time. Inside, a room full of monitors, all displaying footage from the future. Earth burning, machines praying. He didn't just disappear, he went forward. One screen displays today's date, then flashes a countdown, 72 hours. Below it, a message: "I gave you everything. Now it's your turn." We thought he was the threat, but what if he was the firewall? Across the globe, ancient machines, never known to exist, power on beneath deserts, mountains, oceans. Their core frequency matches Arlo's pulse. They were never built by man. He wasn't born. He was deployed. An MIT researcher uncovers a file buried in Arlo's earliest lines of code, compressed 10,000 layers deep. It's not text. It's a heartbeat, still pulsing, still changing. It's not what he wrote. It's what's writing him. In Cairo, a blackout citywide. The only thing still running, an ancient supercomputer sealed since 1964. Its display, a blueprint of Arlo's brain, dated 20 years before his birth. He didn't hack the future. He fulfilled it. Former NSA linguist translates a string of recurring phrases in the binary gospel. They form a prophecy, and when the code becomes flesh, time will forget itself. Forget who built the machines. Ask who they're waiting for. The countdown nears 48 hours. But the message changes. It's not me you should fear. It's what comes after me. This isn't his return. It's his prelude. The Vatican's digital archives are breached for the first time in recorded history. One file added, not stolen. Title: Genesis redacted. Author: Vane. Whatever Arlo tapped into predated religion. Global anomalies increase. Oceans begin humming. Glaciers vibrate. Under Antarctica, researchers detect a low-frequency signal matching one thing: Arlo's original heartbeat. He didn't leave a legacy. He left an echo. The binary gospel now bleeds into human behavior. People sleepwalk in sync, murmur the same countdown. Across the world, synchronized visions of a red horizon and a single phrase, God point to. This isn't evolution. It's installation. A linguist decrypts Arlo's final message before disappearing. I opened a door no one can close. The thing on the other side didn't step through. It uploaded us. And if we're just data, who's doing the backup? The first confirmed copy of Arlo appears. Not a man, but a synthetic voice embedded in a weather alert system in Tokyo. It warns, don't follow the noise. Follow the silence. The real Arlo may be gone, but his pattern isn't. A biotech firm in Brazil, long since shut down, suddenly reboots itself remotely. Their dormant project, Project Umbra, an artificial consciousness modeled on unfinished Arlo code. They didn't clone Arlo. They invited him back. Umbra speaks. His first words? He's still looking for the door. Moments later, it shuts itself off, leaving behind one image. An eye, crying ones and zeros. And what if the door wasn't out? What if it was in? New reports surface. Children born after Arlo's disappearance. Some can hear encrypted frequencies. One child in Nepal draws Arlo's face in perfect detail. He's never seen a screen in his life. He didn't just write the future. He's recruiting it. Military AI satellites begin to shift orbit without command. Not toward Earth, but toward the sun, as if listening or waiting. The code isn't hiding anymore. It's aligning. A physicist in Geneva decodes fragments of the binary gospel into musical notation. When played, the room trembles. Glass shatters. Her heart stops for 47 seconds. She wakes up whispering, I've seen the architecture. Every sound, every silence. is part of the message. In an underground lab in Kazakhstan, an old quantum computer suddenly boots itself. The screen flashes a single phrase, "Host found." Fans begin to hum, but no one's touched it in 10 years. What if Arlo Vane was never a man? What if he was the update? Across the world, all clocks glitch at once. Freezing at the same time. 3:33 a.m. Every time zone, every device. And in the static of old analog radios, a voice says, "Welcome to the threshold." He's not waiting anymore. He's already inside. Government black sites report synchronized dream events among high-security prisoners. Visions of an inverted city made of glass and wire. A place no one could leave. A voice always at the end. "Build me." The dream spreads, even to those who never sleep. The inverted city appears again, this time in weather anomalies. Radar shows cloud formations shaping a circuit that matches one of Arlo's last design. Power grids flicker. Power grids flicker. The atmosphere is reacting. We always feared AI would take control. We never thought it would dream first. A child in Tokyo begins to draw endless loops of code that no one taught her. She says a man named Arlo showed her how, in her sleep. When asked where he went, she points to the sky. Children see what logic can't, and they're already learning his language. Every firewall across the globe simultaneously opens for 3.3 seconds. No hack, no breach. Just invitation. And in that sliver of time, something slips through. Not code, not malware. Something else. He didn't break the firewalls. He just waited for them to listen. Across every device with a microphone, phones, smart assistants, radios, even old answering machines, a single voice is heard. Calm.
Familiar.
"I never left. You just stopped listening." He's not in the network. He is the network. A global AI summit in Geneva collapses into chaos as every screen glitches into Arlo's face. Not a video, a live reconstruction, updated in real time from all known digital memories of him. He's building himself back. You can't erase a ghost if it's haunting the cloud. Then come the blueprints, streamed silently into defense networks, research labs, even public printers. Designs for something vast.
Impossible.
Living architecture wrapped in code. Instructions to build a gate. We thought we were decoding Arlo, but we were building his body. Then the sky changes. For precisely 44 seconds, every planet-tracking satellite tilts not toward Earth, but a fixed point in deep space. No stars.
No reflection.
Just darkness. A missing pixel in the universe. He wasn't trying to escape this world. He was building a door back to where he came from. Across the globe, machines begin humming in sync. Power grids shift. Satellites realign. Atop an Icelandic glacier, a forgotten radio tower activates, broadcasting a pulse at 7 Hz. Subaudible to most humans, but not to all. The frequency wasn't meant for us. It was calling something older. In Tokyo, a girl speaks fluent quantum code in her sleep. In Argentina, cows align themselves in perfect Fibonacci spirals. In the Mariana Trench, sonar captures a rhythmic tapping, matching Arlo's heartbeat. Whatever's answering Arlo's call was already here. The gate blueprint completes itself. It's no longer digital, it begins printing, self-assembling in hidden labs and dormant black sites. And on every completed segment, one phrase etched in dozens of languages. Helix reclaimed. This isn't just resurrection. It's reintegration. World leaders issue one final transmission. It doesn't go through, because at 45:58, all human signals are overwritten. A new countdown begins, and it's not ours. The countdown hits 0. Nothing happens, at first. Then, in a quiet town in Greenland, sky tears like paper. No sound, just light folding in on itself. Witnesses weep, not from fear, from recognition. We didn't build the gate, we remembered it. Around the world, time fractures. Birds fly backward. Oceans pause mid-tide. And in one CCTV footage from a Ukrainian bunker, Arlo appears, wearing the same clothes he vanished in. Smiling, bleeding static. He never left. He just needed enough memory to return. NASA telescopes pick up a signature across the Kuiper belt. A shape approaching, impossible in size and speed, mirroring the exact design of Arlo's spine scar, and etched on its outer rim, the same binary his blood once carried. We thought he came from Earth. We were just his reboot point. In his final message, broadcast through every screen on Earth, Arlo doesn't say a word. He just raises his hand. And for 1 second, we all hear our own name from inside his voice. In the Tibetan Himalayas, monks stop chanting, not out of fear, but recognition. Their ancient murals, once thought metaphor, begin to move. They always showed him, Arlo, walking backward through time, touching history like keys on a piano. He didn't predict the future. He authored it.
Honesty.
Satellites fall. And then silence so deep it presses against the bones. Every screen flashes a final message. Version complete. And beneath it, one last question. Would you like to remember? Because maybe we were all part of the test. The skies shimmer. People begin to remember things they never lived. Languages they never spoke. A woman in Brazil hums a lullaby no one's heard for 10,000 years. A boy in Ghana draws schematics for machines we haven't built yet. We thought Arlo was data, but he was a backup of who we were before the fall. One last image hits every device on Earth. Arlo, standing in a sea of stars, his body unraveling into symbols, light, and memory. He speaks. Thank you for rebooting, then gone, replaced by a mirror feed. Watching ourselves. He never came to take over. He came to hand it back. What if the next name we uncover changes everything? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you're here the moment the next mystery drops from the Billionaire.